Hi there, welcome back to my views and news. First news stories from the Oromia region. For the last 4 days, two key political parties have been holding a meeting in the Oromia region. It was being rumored the two parties could start talks with the Ethiopian Abi's government. Abi's government wants to talk to these parties. So what happened? What did the two parties decide? Who attended this meeting? Key meetings are underway, by the way. All the meetings are about election. These parties are planning their strategies, their alliances, their plans for the election. Second, viewers, second story is from the Amhara region of Ethiopia, where hundreds of people who have been in detention since last year have been released from a detention camp in the region. What happened? What led to this release? Is it message of a goodwill from the Ethiopian government for the people of the Amhara region? Lastly, an update for you on the issue of hijab in Axum. You know that Axum schools, 5 schools imposed a ban on female students. The schools banned them from wearing hijab. Matter was taken to a court. Two courts order is not being implemented. Now an update for you. Let's start with firstly two major opposition political parties held meetings in Oromia. The meeting concluded yesterday, and after that, one of the two parties issued a statement. The parties are Oromo Liberation Front and Oromo Federalist Congress, OFC and OLF, held a 4 day long meeting reportedly. The meeting was attended not just by the political parties, it was attended by civil society, religious leaders, abagadas, etc. If you remember, in last night's live chat, I told you that PM Abi's government is trying to use and build a new narrative saying that Oromo unity is needed because there is threat to Addis Ababa from the north. That northerners, Fanos, TPL, the Bratsin and Eritreans, they could unite and march towards Addis. That is why unity is needed in the Oromo region. This is the threat which is being used by PM Abi's government to convince OLF and also to talk to the government. OLA has realized that government is creating this threat, maybe manufactured threat, and OLA warned the two parties, OFC and OL, that they should not talk to the government. That government wants to use photo shoots with the two parties for acceptance in Oromia abroad as well. The two parties held meeting for 4 days, and after that, they have announced that there is need for unity in the Oromia region. They criticized the government. They said regime of Abiy, PM Abiy, is not interested in giving free and fair political environment to opposition parties. They are demanding that the rights of political parties be respected by the government. They talked about the status of Addis Ababa too, which is one of the main demands of Oromo political parties and Ola. They said Addis Ababa is part of Oromia. They said the same, that Addis Ababa is part of Oromia, its capital of the Oromia region. They talked about the transitional government. They have been calling for the establishment of transitional government in Oromia. This is what Ola demanded to at talks with the government in Tanzania. And OFC, OLF, they have also been calling for the establishment of transitional government. They say this government is not neutral. This government is hostile towards Oromo opposition parties. And under this government, there cannot be any transparent election. They did not say categorically that they won't talk to the government. They did not say that. Some of the participants were people sent by the government reported. I believe we'll have to wait. I don't think they have outrightly rejected dialogue with the government. I don't think so. They are calling for dialogue, calling for engagement, calling for unity. They have not announced to launch any movement against the government. The statement is not very critical of the government. It's not an announcement of talks with the government. At the same time, it's not very critical of the government. So we'll have to wait. Uh, these two parties will find it difficult to make alliance with ruling people, but we'll have to wait to see. Prosperity Party led Zimbabwe's government dismantled Kio movement. It tried to dismantle OLF too. OFC leaders were forced into exile. Now, when election is approaching, will these parties sit at the table with the government? Nothing wrong with sitting at the table, I believe, but they should demand free, fair, and transparent election. It should be just one demand. Election under neutral body. Election with equal opportunities to all the parties. This is what the demand should be. If they're calling for unity in Oromia, it's interesting. Why should they call for unity in Oromia? I mean, all these parties have their different agendas, different manifestos. Why are they calling for unity? Are they in a threat? Is Abi's threat working? Let's see. Let's wait. It's a political game. We'll have to wait to see how these parties behave in coming days. Secondly, viewers, hundreds of people in detention for several months have been released in the Amhara region. In the region, we know that government has been detaining people on suspicion of having links with Fano fighters. And makeshift detention camps have been established in different parts of the region. Hundreds of people are there. One such camp was located near Kambolcha city in South Wollo zone of the Amhara region. Over around 1,000 people were there, and over 800 were released in the last 48 hours. What happened? Did the government release them as a result of some deal or a sign of a goodwill? I don't know. Reportedly, diseases spread at the camp. Several inmates died. Some were seriously ill. There could have been large-scale deaths. Hundreds could have died. That is why government decided to close the camp and release all the inmates. Over 800 have been released from this camp near Kambolcha in the last 48 hours. Families are confirming. And some of them, most of them rather, they have been at this camp for months without any court appearance. They were never taken to a court. Their families did not know about their whereabouts. They have been missing, you can say. So luckily, they have been released. But how many were killed during the disease spread, no one knows. Lastly, viewers, an update for you from the Tigray region, where a few months ago, 5 schools in Axum city imposed a ban on Muslim students, banning them from wearing hijab. They were not allowed to enter school. They were not allowed to fill in forms to appear in 12th grade university entrance exam. Their future in danger. Tigray Islam Supreme Council took the matter to a court in Axum. Court ruled in favor of Muslim community, but the decision of the court was not implemented by schools. Two updates now. Firstly, 7 women's rights organizations have issued a statement. They have issued a statement in support of female students, saying that the right of female students of wearing a dress is being denied. They are demanding that those who are denying education to these students must be held accountable. And they want the authorities to ensure that students rejoin the school, and whatever they have lost in terms of their progress should be recovered, that they should be allowed to attend extra classes. Meanwhile, the case which was ongoing, the trial which was ongoing in Axum, is being transferred to Mekelle. I don't know why Axum court could not get its decision implemented. Executive security forces very strong in Ethiopia. Courts are helpless. Courts only pass rulings, they pass verdicts, but executive police they refuse to implement the verdicts. I said in the past that this issue is turning into a religious and political issue. TPLF is involved. TPLF Detention is reportedly supporting the schools. Gitacho is supporting Islamic Affairs Supreme Council. Islamic Supreme Council protested in Mekelle a few weeks ago. Large protest, hundreds were there, and Gitacho met with Islamic Affairs Council representatives. He announced that he will solve the issue soon. Issue could not be solved. Why? Because Gitacho government has no writ there in Axum. Let's see, trial is going to be transferred to Mekelle, but who will implement a decision if Mekelle court gives a verdict in support of students? Axum court also gave a verdict in support of students, but it was not implemented. Thanks for watching.